Good afternoon, Seoul. How's it going? All right. So, my name is Atharva. I flew all the way from Texas, United States. I go to Texas Tech University, hacking solo all the way from Texas. So, give me a round of applause, guys. Okay. All right, let's get into TrueLens. This picture right here is it's VIX for people who know. For those who don't know, VIX is volatility index. This VIX here shows the volatility of the US stock market right now. So this picture has a lot to say. This means that the markets are moving faster than ever before. We are currently looking at levels like COVID, right? Uh, within this realm of news-controlled market, we all know that there's several changes going on all around the world. There's news popping up every single day, and the markets are shaking. Within this realm, there's an authenticity crisis between real news and fake news. And so I'm building TrueLens, where you can access only real news. How does that sound? All right, so the mission is pretty simple. We want to build decentralized, authentic, community-verified news that shapes the market, and they are transparent, right? So the information, or the product information, is basically how we're gonna do that. It is a decentralized AI-powered platform that delivers verified market-relevant news. So essentially, how this is gonna work is, there's an AI agent in place that's gonna crawl all over the internet to find sources from social media platforms such as Truth Social, Twitter, Instagram, maybe. It's a news platform. So these days, LinkedIn maybe. And then the popular news houses like US News, Yahoo Finance, so on and so forth. If a news has several sources within popular news houses like these, that means that it is a relevant news. Now, that news is going to come to the platform, and let me go to the platform real quick. Okay. So if I go to my profile, what it's gonna look like is, once the news have been identified, it comes here on the platform to be verified by several users on the blockchain. So trusted node or verified users can vote if a news is fake or real. And if a consensus is achieved, now let's say that verify, and let's say that this is a real news. If a consensus is achieved, let's say 95% people vote that it is real news, then it goes to the platform. And this is how we're making sure that the only real news is being listed on the platform. But it does not end here. We give a 15-day community period to kind of review, and people could flag if they find any potential fake news. In order to do so, you're gonna have to stake 10 true tokens. And I've created my own token and chain here for the purposes. So you're gonna have to stake 10 tokens, and the smart contract is executed now. All right, so once you verify this and a consensus is achieved, you can see that the news will arrive in your newsfeed. Now let's look at one specific news. It says, let's look at this one. Trump's China tariffs to devastate US importers and cheap goods. Firstly, we're gonna offer a summary of the news in question. Now remember, this is a verified news, okay? Now we're gonna provide trading insights, which is actionable insights at the end of every news. We can see that Walmart and Target are US-based companies. They might benefit from that. So here's some trading insights. Whereas Apple and Hasbro, they depend heavily on Chinese manufacturers. So they might be negatively impacted. So there's some trading insights here. Everything is on-chain. You can go and verify the original sources. And otherwise, you could go to IPFS, where you can see where it is coming from. Everything will be on-chain. Now, this is what I was talking about. You can flag here as fake news. To explain the tokenomics, it's like the true tokens that you stake are kind of given to a pool, and whoever contributes rightly will be distributed accordingly. And I'll be happy to answer more about that in the questions. As many true tokens as you have, you go higher levels up, and you get more authority to vote. And essentially, what we are being left with is going to be a platform where you can trust, where you don't have to go to several news sources. You can trust that it's community verified, it's only authentic, real news, and also get actionable insights every day. Simple, yet we're using the technology of decentralization effectively here. So with TrueLens, let's make some money. Thank you, Sean, dhanyawad, kamsamnida.
Well. Any questions? Yeah, definitely. Like the other projects, I really love the work you've done here. A lot of good stuff being presented today. Couple questions here is this a totally new field to you, or have you been following a lot of the other efforts in this, like, obviously the granddaddy Polymarket, but in social media, there's been a really good outcomes from things like community notes that is kind of proximal to this idea?
Good question. So we all have been following the news recently, and we have all lost a lot of money recently, right? And so which is where this idea kind of came in. So very recently, I wouldn't like to pinpoint anything, but there was a fake news because of which the markets moved 8%, and many people took wrong trading decisions because of that, and they lost a lot of money. Within which I was brainstorming that what could be done to kind of combat that. But at the same time, there's not many platforms where you could go and kind of have an aggregated news into one single thing. So that's where all the idea came from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. The reason I bring up community notes is that, there's an intersubjective truth here, which is just what do people share as the belief about this. Community notes has a very clever architecture where based on your own behavior, they detect if you're leaning right or left in the political spectrum.
Right.
And then, things that are considered to be more valid actually are not bimodal of just being supported by the left or right, but have some kind of common issuance, which, it's a difference on kind of the protocol. I think the protocol you have here is a little bit more like a betting market style.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just take a look at that. I think that would be a good for you to look potentially at combining some of
Thank you so much. And I feel like, this goes a little bit more beyond a hackathon project. I'd like to pursue this in the future, kind of do more market research, see who are the early adopters. And as you can see, if we have a lot of community being involved, this can be very interesting project to be in the real life,
You mentioned the period for the voting. What was the time?
Oh, yeah, sorry. So once a consensus is achieved that it is a real news, it gets to the platform, and then the community will have 15 days to kind of flag as fake news. And then within the 15 days, so the mechanism is, if 10% or more of the views on the page are being flagged, that means it is probably a fake news. And then the pool of true tokens which were assigned at the beginning will be now redistributed to the people who contributed to saying that, okay, this was a fake news.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, because 15 days obviously is a pretty long time.
Yeah.
And you also have a challenge that, at that point, the impact is already made. And so if your consensus is on a small amount of money, right? If I'm trying to push a fake news, I'll literally go, buy a little bit of true, push the consensus,
Fair
and then
enough.
lose it later, but the market already moved. So
Probably has to be 24 hours, maybe then, yeah.
well, I think it's also, this is where actually having some of the AI evaluating as well and like trying to find collaborating evidence, etc.
Yeah,
will be
yeah.
a really good place because it will allow you to at least filter out a lot of stuff that like people are trying to push.
Fair enough. Thank you. Any other questions? I still have 1 minute, 28 seconds till I speak, guys.
You can start dancing. Or any other questions? Nothing?
No?
Okay.
Okay.
No more questions.
Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone.